Please.
Just talk to me for 2 minutes and I'll leave you alone.
Oh my God. It's too damn early for this shit. Leave me alone.
How do you dress like this? What are you a prostitute? I'm serious.
Sir, please leave.
That's okay. I don't care.
Leave me alone.
All you want.
I don't want proof of this. Please leave me alone. Please leave me alone. Leave me alone.
Mr. Perry, I have proof. If I didn't, you would have let me in court 3 times to show it. It's all over the internet. It's all over the docket. Every time we say something beforehand and then you do it, that is proof, you dumb fuck. He types in my phone this morning, first thing. Is it this person? Is it that person? Is this person leaking? Is that person leaking? You gotta prove it. You just did. You fucking just did. They watch everything you do on my phone. I've said that over and over and over. It's the 19th of November, 2022. This is Cynthia Ortiz. These are the Charles Perry Stalker podcast. We do the disclaimer, use allegedly. Nobody's been found guilty in a court of law just yet. Although it's not going to be hard. It gets easier by the day. Mr. Perry bothers me, we get more. He bothers me, we get more. He takes something, we get more. When he took my home, tried to take my apartment, we got Calvin's name. Calvin is one of his associates. He's a mean motherfucker. Mean motherfucker. People hate him. We get information because people hate him and what he's doing. Then Mr. Perry took my, within 6 months, had me kicked out of a hotel and took all my clothes and threw them in the dump. He told those people to keep her shit. I didn't owe them any money. It was time to pay for the next day, the next week, the next month. I said, I'm going to do what I always do. Run to the bank. I'll be back about 4. Nope. You're going to leave, and you can't take any of your shit with you. Well, what's the legal basis for you to keep my stuff? They stole it. Mr. Perry told them to. So, that goes along with witness statements, Mr. Perry. You're doing exactly what we say. We said it beforehand, not after. We said it for years. He's trying to get me kicked out of my home. That's what he does. Our witness said it. Everybody's seen that. You act like no one knows because you're mentally retarded, our shrink says. Mr. Perry, she says, is suffering from severe mental retardation because nothing he does makes any sense. I keep waiting for him to give me something to work with, and he never does. We get it before, and he'll try to do it anyway. And then he says weird shit like, prove it. You did. You already did. So after they did that, we get Geppetto's name. We get Lucius's name. We get Sanjay's name. We had, for a while, Blankenship and Desiree's names. They're people who have given input, some good, some bad. Mr. Perry thinks that I care what he thinks. He continues to try to talk to me. He continues to try to ask who's helping me. He continues to try to ask who told. Like he thinks I would help him. He's ruining my life. Why would I help him? He takes everything I care about, takes it away. I had a job. I already had to quit. He already found out where that was and has already started causing problems. Already. So I had to quit. And that's kind of what they do. Hang on, I'll show you.
And my ex-husband was controlling. He became verbally abusive, and I decided that it was just best to end the marriage. Immediately upon speaking with an attorney, things started happening. He started showing up places where I would go. He seemed to know information about me that he shouldn't have. I took a new job and did not tell him where the location was or who I was working for. And the 3rd day of the start of the new job, he showed up. Unfortunately,
See, these old farts, they use technology, especially if they have money. My phone's been cloned. My guys sit there and watch everything Charles does in it, everything he types in it. Every time he starts asking, who is it, who told on me, is it NYPD, is it LAPD, who's helping you? Listen, you're the offender. No one's going to tell you shit. But we got names of people involved in your organization. You know why? Because everybody hates you, and everybody's sick of this, and everybody's sick of you. And that doesn't seem to click for you. That should be a crime deterrent, and it's just not. And no one understands why that would be. So today, we just got them recorded. We got to get her car away from her. No, she just caught you. Wait a week. No, we can't wait a week. It's got to happen now. We got to get her back to Texas. We've sold her. They're human trafficking. There's what opened the case for us was that and exploitation, sexual exploitation of women and children, child pornography, human rights violations, the deprivation of basic rights and needs of women and kids. And I've said that over and over and over. It's just going right over Mr. Perry's head. Things do not click for him. When they're caught, that should be a crime deterrent. If you're about to rob a bank, if you're speeding, if you're speeding, and there's a cop on, if you're driving down the freeway or something, and all of a sudden you see everybody slam their brakes on, you look around, there's usually a cop doing a radar. That's a crime deterrent. When you see the police officer who's about to catch you speeding and maybe give you a ticket, he may not give you a ticket, he might give you a ticket. The thing is, you don't want to chance it, but not Perry. He speeds up. He speeds up, and we're all like, oh my gosh, this is so easy, it is not even fair. He gets caught planning it, and he thinks he can do it anyway. Then he's asking me who told, like he thinks I would answer that. Delusional. He's deeply, deeply, deeply delusional. He lives in a pretend land, sits around on his fat, lazy ass, perverting around all day, gets nothing productive done, causes one problem after another, makes everything fun, unfun. So I've already had to quit a job. Already. I worked one day. He already found out where it was, already started making problems. So it makes, that's how he strips women of everything they have so they're easier to traffic. He strips them of that. It gets them fired, our witness said. It causes them to lose their home, make sure they can't find another job. Whatever you whatever you fucked up with Amazon, Mr. Perry, fix it or it'll be done for you the same way we just found out what you were trying to do. Same way we got the McNamara email, same way we got Geppetto's name, Blankenship, Desiree, Lucius, all those names, Calvin. It'll be done for you, same way. It won't be up to you. It's never up to you. We have always controlled the flow of information. You've never controlled that. You've never stopped it. You've never done. You can't do shit. And when you ask questions, you call around. You're putting me on the map, which I appreciate. My guy's like, you could get a job in law enforcement easily because he's calling around, asking who's helping you. He's putting you on the map. So you're becoming you're becoming known all over the place and what you've done. We're all catching the crime like nobody's ever done in his life. And he's making it so easy, it is not even fair. So when these guys get old and senile, they start making mistakes and they get caught. Mr. Perry's delusional. Very, very, very delusional. He lives in a pretend world. Watches TV and pretends that's a romance, like John Hinckley Jr. did to Jodie Foster. But the thing is, he's dangerous, and he's got sex weirdo problems. So the crimes are involving that, sex. That's the causation. He says he was molested. I don't believe that's true. I think he's just weirdo. I think he's just a fucking weirdo. There are 99.9% of the population can follow the law and comply with the law, abused or not. So you're full of shit. Nobody believes you. You lie all the time. Nobody believes you. But because he does stuff like that, we're going to apply the but-for legal standard, but-for Mr. Perry stalking and causing trouble and causing problems and trying to traffic me. I mean, I'm not a teenage runaway. I'm 53. Before doing that and apply the reasonable prudent individual standard, I have the right to protect myself against intended harm of any kind, financial or otherwise. So our guys are going to probably add another charge for interference with commerce and contracts with intent to coerce. It's more than just stalking and you're in a lot of trouble and you seem like you don't get that. When we start quoting you, you should get that, especially because we've done it every day for 7 years. McNamara, this is in 2015. That email goes into great detail about Mr. Perry's intent to commit a crime against me, which he then did a few months later. Went into court, bold-faced lied, and caused a very big problem for me. So the guy says, and we assert our constitutional rights. So apply the but-for legal standard, the reasonable prudent individual standard. Use allegedly. Nobody's been found guilty in a court of law yet. It's not going to be hard, because Mr. Perry can't control himself and has no fucking idea what's happening. He acts like he doesn't understand what you're saying. His response is always indicate he just fucking doesn't understand what you just said to him. Like his phaser or something. I don't know. Anyway. And we assert our constitutional rights. So the guy was like, Perry comes up here and he's all like, why doesn't she like me? Like maybe she's a lesbian. And the guy goes, or you're ruining her. You ruin her career. You ruin every relationship that's important to her. You ruin relationships with her kids and her ex-husband and her family, her friends. You ruin her jobs. You ruin her income. And you're trying to take her car. You get her kicked out of her house. You throw her clothes in the dumpster. You're cruel. You're an asshole. Maybe that's why. She's not lesbian, and I'm not. Well, maybe she's just moody and hormonal. No? Okay, let's try this again, sir. You took everything she has, everything she cares about, everything fun. You make it unfun. Everything's a hassle for her, a struggle for her. So she just doesn't like you because you're mean. You're a criminal. She doesn't like you. He goes, and maybe it's this, maybe, and he's like, everything but what it really is. And I'll tell you one thing, I have a girlfriend, I didn't do any of that to get my girlfriend. So his claims that this is about, he has a girlfriend is bullshit. He trafficked her. It's what she said, not what he says. He's full of crap. She said, I don't go out with the man unless he makes sure I don't miss a meal. And Perry's trying to starve her until she, like, going days without food or shelter. And he's trying to starve her. He's trying to. That's not how you get a date. That's not how you get a woman to like you. You were told that too a few years ago. You're coming up here. The guy said, I think you're talking to me like you think I believe you, and I think you know I don't. You didn't call her and say, there's things we left unsaid, and I'd like to sit down and talk with you and have dinner. If you're willing. And if you're not willing, I'll leave you alone. That's what a normal guy would do. You didn't do that. You ripped her from her family. You smeared her all over the news. You put her in jail. She lost her home. So don't tell me this is about a romance. This is about a lie. You needed a cover-up. You're a stalker. That's a felony. So you're a criminal. And she caught it. And you just want it covered up. You're trying to beat her down to get her to cover it up for you. So I'm sorry, but you're not going to get me to believe you. I think you're full of crap. He was told that years ago. Years ago. You're not acting like a man who wants a date. You're acting like a man who wants a lie. So there's not going to be a date, ever. Ever. You repulse me. You're a job. It's funny that you thought I liked you. I did very well at my job then, didn't I? What is undercover work, Charles? I mean, how do we get to the truth if we don't lie? So you become someone else. You pretend. And you get people talking, and you get your evidence, and you move on to the next one, and the next one, and the next one. And Terry Wagner said and did things I can use against him in a court of law as part of your crime. Mickey James did, Pinto did, Joel did, all your little schmucks, Robertson did. Doesn't matter what locals do. We have had another case going since Lubbock. But it's need to know. You weren't supposed to know what we were doing. Now you do, and you're still going at it, which we're like, oh my God. Like I said, this is so easy, it's not fair. If you get someone elected with a grandiose idea of themselves, they think they're God. Grew up on welfare, everyone owes me something. I don't have to work for it, it's owed to me. Not everybody who grows up on welfare thinks like that, but a lot of them do. Unfortunately. My family didn't have money. I was the chief's granddaughter, but my dad was also an alcoholic and a drug addict. So we didn't have money. Cops didn't make that much back then, and he was a cop back then. So we didn't have money. You know what we did? We didn't do welfare. My parents found people who had farms. After they went and picked all the corn, we'd go behind and get whatever was left over, or squash, or whatever. We had a garden. We worked. We got our food. We worked. So we were taught, you want something, you work for it, and you get it. Find a way to get it. Find a way to make it work out. Work. It's going to take some work. It's going to take some creativity. It's going to take some work. But you don't do a freeloading thing. And people don't owe you shit. Nobody owes you shit. But when you got somebody like this that is so far outside social norms and the law and is that deviant, You're going to make people sick at their stomach when you walk in the room and the hair stands up on the back of your neck. And those girls at Lady Godiva's used to say that about David Robertson. He walked in like he thought he was God and everybody loved him. Listen. Let me make a news flash here. In a strip club, the girls want your money. They'll say and do whatever the fuck you want. I'll say what you want to hear. Yeah, I might go out with you. There's zero intent to going out with you. Once in a blue moon, they mean that. They might really like that person, but it's very, very rare. And you'll be able to tell. Most of the time, they pretend they like you, so you'll buy a lap dance and they can get your money. That's what a strip club is. It's a place where you go where it's a fantasy. Everybody likes you. Guess what? So is undercover work. You pretend you like you. I pretend I'll like you. I'll pretend all fucking day long if it'll get you talking and make some kind of incriminating statement. And I'm good at it. You thought I liked you, didn't you, Mr. Perry? It's not hard to fool a delusional. It's not hard at all. So, due to what I'm doing, my work, and the help I have, your crime has been caught like never before in your life. Never before. No one else has names like Geppetto, Calvin, Sonjay, right? Lucius. No one else has those names, do they? But I have them. You want to take my car this weekend to force me back to Texas so you can deliver because you sold me, and that's illegal. It is a horrifying crime, human trafficking. Congress just opened a case. Congress. They're not fucking with the feds. Fuck the FBI. They're busy with Trump. Congress is going to do it. And they're investigating the Biden family for human trafficking. Because people don't like crime. In this last election, there was a referendum sent to the elected officials. We want crime stopped. It is second only to inflation. There's two things in this country the voters, the public, the taxpayers want. The voters who hire and fire people in office. We want our money in our pocket. The inflation is killing us. Number two, get rid of the fucking crime. So if everybody wants the crime stopped, what makes you think, Mr. Perry, it's okay for you? Why do you think people wouldn't hate you and what you're doing to me and Mike? They do hate you. We don't have problems getting names. You've called everywhere. No one will give you even one name. You have not one name. No one wants to help you. Everybody's sick of you. Everybody's sick of you. Everybody's sick and tired of you and your crime. Everybody hates your guts. We don't have problems getting information. You do. And that doesn't click for you. So it's very frustrating when I talk to my shrink and I'm like, he just goes right back at it like a dog to his vomit. It's not a crime deterrent, and it should be. And it should embarrass the living hell out of him that he's such a weirdo. And she said, I believe he's got aging disease. And that aging disease is making him severely mentally retarded, and he has no idea that he should be. Not a clue. He's not able to put that together in his head like everybody else. So he goes right back at it. And then we get more. It's every day for 7 years. We're quoting them. Thousands upon thousands of recordings of Mr. Perry, Mr. Robertson, Mr. Powell, Mr. Burson, writing crime, talking criminal crap. Mr. Powell thinks he's above all this, and he's not. He got caught, constantly wanting my whereabouts. It's none of his business. Fuck off. I left. I left Lubbock in 2013 to get away from all you corrupt bitches. I left to get away from your crazy, yuck. All I was supposed to do was get you elected, and that was it. That was it. You turned it into a whole different thing, sir. You thought I liked you. We think that's hysterical. I'm very, very good at what I do. There are people I do really like. There are people I pretend I like so I can get them talking, and I'm going to get my fucking evidence. Come hell or high water. And I did. Like no one you know has ever done. So, we're all at a loss as to when every fucking day you get caught, when you do it to me, what kind of stupid would keep doing it? That's supposed to be a crime deterrent. And you give back what you took. I don't want your creepy house. Every day I'll get you a house. You're broke. I made you broke. I'll get you a house. Call me. Every fucking day. I'm like, I don't want your creepy house of horror. I don't want anything to do with you. Give back what you took and get the fuck out of my life, and I never hear from you again. Never hear from you again. And if you don't, we'll get more until your arrest. And the more we get, the easier it will be to get a conviction. It's piling up. So Powell thought he's well, I'm the good one. No. But I quoted you too. You said she torpedoed my case. It's not hard. It wasn't hard. You didn't have one. There was no crime. Right? When you did those false charges against me in Lubbock, I don't live in Lubbock. I hadn't lived in Lubbock for a year and a half. Perry didn't legislate in Lubbock. In Oklahoma. Stalking is not part of his legislative duties, and you didn't bother to get the evidence first. You didn't get anything at all. You're lazy and inept, and you're incompetent. You got a crackerjack box law degree, and boy, you can see it a mile away. So then he calls up here. There's some texts that I sent Mr. Perry in December 2011, long before I could have anticipated he'd go into court and lie to arrange a false arrest. He'd been threatening for months, and we were getting intel on it. The McNamara email is that he's going to false arrest me. In Oklahoma, you have to get a police report in order to get a protective order, and if somebody's threatening you with death and false arrest, you need one. So on the 4th of January, I sent him a text. My murder and a false arrest is not going to vindicate Mr. Perry of stalking. It's going to prove he is. He's just carried out a threat. On January 21st, I filed a police report with TPD. On the 29th, Mr. Perry went into a courtroom and said a false police report has been filed, and it's over retaliation over my job as a public servant as a senator. Never mind, there's not one text, there's not one email, there's not one crazy rant anywhere directed at some little podunk new guy who just got elected. It didn't matter. It doesn't legislate in the state where I live. He knew I had to get the police report filed. I had to. He also obstructed justice. No one saw the texts. No one saw emails going back to 2011. He's stalking me. He's not. Mr. Arshrink says he's unable to identify his legislative duties. He doesn't know. Stalking is not what you do to pass a law in Texas. Stalking, harassing, threatening. I'll ruin your business, he said. I'll ruin your business. And he tried. Mr. Perry, you're going to jail for all this. My guy says as early as tomorrow. Well, that's today. They're about ready to wrap it up. You're getting all desperate. Get her car, get her back to Texas, have her call her ex-husband, and have him go to Oklahoma, pick her up, and take her across state lines to kidnap her for us, because we aren't going to get our hands dirty. We'll make her family do it. Will you? Did she not get the title to her car in her possession yet? There's been a change to the status of my vehicle. I had to get another loan. So, there's a title, a lien on my title. The change is made, I have to go pick it up. No, I don't have it. I may not pick it up for another week or two, just because I know you guys are chomping at the bit for me to get the title so you can take my car and traffic me. We have a conversation of you people every single day since August 2019. We got to take her car away from her so we can traffic her. You're caught when you do it to me. And the guy goes, you guys got to stay off the horn. They got you already. Yeah. How many wiretap orders are there? How many of you have already been? Lucius, you and your conversation has already been played in a courtroom somewhere to get a probable cause for a court order? Wiretap or something? See, you don't know. You won't know till it's too fucking late. But I have your name because when Charles pesters me and when he takes my money, and the longer he's in my life trying to traffic me and shit, the longer he invades my privacy, the longer I'm broken, the longer Mike's in jail, the more we get. It's been that way every day for 7 years. And by now, you ought to be able to figure out when you fuck with me, it's different. You get caught every day. All of you are slow. All of you, what? How old are y'all? All of you old, fart, senile, dementia, something going on with you? Nursing home? All of you? We know Perry is. He's got Huntington's disease or something that makes you delusional and paranoid. I mean, you can tell he's nutty. You can tell he doesn't understand a fucking thing you say. About half the time. It goes right over his head. Doesn't click. He has no idea what it means. You can talk. He doesn't know what it means. He doesn't know. It's wires are crapped up in his head. So you can explain something to him that makes... Most people don't have to have it explained at all. They don't have to have it explained at all. And you have to explain the same thing to that bitch over and over and he still doesn't get it. It's not clicking. And you're just like, oh my God, I might as well beat my head on the wall. You're wasting my time. You are fucking wasting my time. So your little bullshit story of, oh, this is a romance. No, it's not. And it doesn't go both ways. I don't like you. No one, you don't get a date being like that. And here we are, 13 years, and you're a failed reject is all you are. You are a job. I pretended I liked you. I pretended I liked Terry Wagner and Mickey James and all those, Robertson and all those bitches that work for you, kiss your ass all day. That's how you get people to talk, weirdo. It didn't occur to you that that's what I was doing? You're a job, sir. That's it. You're not somebody I like. You're not somebody who fits into my crowd. You're stupid. You're delusional. You're a whack job. You're a criminal. That's not my cup of tea. That's not my crowd. You don't fit in my sandbox. You don't even begin to. So now, no, you don't fit in. He's still typing in my phone. Yes, I do. No, you're a job. You need to get the facts straight here, sir. Your delusion is making you look foolish. Do you know what that means? We think you don't know what that means. You act like you have no idea. Your responses are always wildly inappropriate to what was said, like you fucking had no idea what that means. We don't think you do. See, if I had said yes to you, I promise you I would flip this thing so fast you'd be in a nursing home. Faster than you could say nursing home. I'd flip it. If I can get what you just said about taking my car today and it's got to happen this week, if I can get that, if I can get a Fabian puzzle in jail, if I can get everything you guys have said for 7 years, if I can get names of people involved, you think I can't have you in a nursing home like that? You're not thinking. You're not looking at what's happening. And you're not processing it properly. Or you would have no such thought. You are mentally retarded. Because we're doing things you've not seen before. Every time you fuck with me, you get caught. Every day for 7 years. And nothing else has happened. Every day for 7 years, stupid, you get caught. Now, I want you to shut up and get out of my phone. You don't even make sense. The more you contact me, we all get pissed off. You're pissing off people with the power to get Lucius's name. And we want to take her car this week. It's got to happen this week. You're as fucktard as they get. You're pathetic. You're pathetic. I said don't contact me, and when you do it anyway, don't invade my privacy, and when you do it anyway, stay out of my wallet, and when you do it anyway, get Mike home, do right by him, and when you don't do it, we get more and more and more. Then your attorney has to read all that, and you got to pay him to do that. And he'll have to do it again when you go to criminal trial and try to get it suppressed. And the more we get, the easier it will be to get a conviction. And you don't get any of that, do you? You have no idea what I just said, do you? You can tell by the way you act. No, not a fucking clue what that means. No idea. It's very embarrassing. Very embarrassing. You're just like this guy.
Leave me alone.
All you want.
I don't want proof of this. Please leave me alone. Please leave me alone.
Stepdad's been raping you since
Leave
you
me
were 12
alone.
years old.
Please.
Just talk to me for 2 minutes and I'll leave you
Oh
alone.
my God. It's too damn early for this shit. Leave me alone.
How do you dress like this? What, are you a prostitute? I'm serious.
Sir, please leave.
That's okay. I don't care.
Leave me alone.
All you want.
I don't want proof of this. Please leave
Young ladies and young
me alone.
Stepdad's been raping you since
Leave
you
me
were 12 years
alone.
old.
Please.
Just talk to me for 2 minutes.
First, let me say that I'm happy that the lady in this video is okay. Second, let me break down what rape culture is. Rape culture is the fact that that man felt that he was entitled to some of this woman's time just because he said, let me talk to you for 2 minutes. Doesn't matter if it's 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 20 minutes. If she said no, no means no. Rape culture is the comments that she has on her video about how she should have just spoke to him or dressed differently. Rape culture is me taking the heat for calling out other men for their terrible behavior. Rape culture is trying to explain stuff as, oh, it's just locker room talk. No, it's not locker room talk. You should talk the same way wherever you are. We all know that rape is not about sex, it's about power. So for you to force yourself on somebody, even if you're just talking to them, is disgusting, dude.
Leave me alone! Leave me alone! I don't want proof of this. Please leave me alone.
Hey, men, leave women the fuck alone. When they're in public, when they're doing anything, you don't have the right to their attention. You don't have the right to step into their personal space. You don't have the right to them. Especially if they're making it very clear they don't want to be talked to. But even when they're not, unless a woman is giving you enthusiastic and continuous body language and signs that she wants to talk to your ugly dumbass, then leave her the fuck alone. Find a date a different way. Okay? It's not clever. It's not cool. It's not cute. It's garbage. It's absolute garbage behavior. And you're a garbage person if you do it. I don't care if it's in public. It doesn't fucking matter. You don't have the right to her. You need to leave her alone. And this is Bacon.
Alright, so these are all the Facebook messages to my friends and family from 2011, 5 years before Mr. Perry goes in and goes, oh, I matter. She's mad about my legislative duties and filed a false police report. Knowing by law I had to do that, knowing he was threatening me, knowing they didn't have all this evidence. He obstructed justice so they didn't get it, and destroyed my blood evidence because they were poisoning me. He knew it. He lied. That, those guys in Manfred said, is not part of your legislative duties, is it? That's not what you do to pass a law in Texas. Pull up behind a woman's house and watch her in her backyard. Follow her around at restaurants. Have her, that's called stalking, and it's a felony, Mr. Perry, in all 50 states. You can't get a date. You get told on. And nothing else has happened to you in 13 years. Nothing else. Mr. Perry, listen to the words I'm saying and act like you understand me, because I think you don't. I think you're severely mentally retarded, and you have no idea what I just said. You have never gotten a date with me in 13 years. You never will. I will never help you. You're a job. I've got more evidence of your crime than anybody you know in your entire life. You hid this all your life. But when you do it to me, you get caught every fucking day. And you have no idea what that means. And you have no idea what I just said, do you? You fucking need to be in a nursing home. So, all of that is there. Mr. Powell didn't bother to look at it. So I torpedoed his case. I also had that from October, telling my ex-husband he's going to arrange a false arrest. He's going to arrange a false arrest and try to coerce me. He's still trying. Take her car. She found out again. Well, let's wait a week and try again next week. No, we can't wait a week. I've got to do it now. We need this to be over. We need to traffic her. We keep getting caught. Yep, and you did when you said that. You did when you said that. So you got caught today. The thing that Matt Powell did is these texts right here. Mr. Perry was spreading rumors that he and I were having an affair and it pissed me off. I was like, yeah, no, there's no, So, I'm texting him like, what the fuck are you doing, weirdo? It sounded like from what my client said, he was kind of vague, but he said enough, and it pissed me off. So I'm asking Charles, did your employees, Carl and Robert Tepper, talk to Chris Wynn, who then told my client, because my client had just been meeting with Chris Wynn? Is that how this got to him? How did he get? I'm trying to get some answers here. And Powell calls up to Oklahoma. Can we get Frank Morrison to just say she misunderstood him? If you use the word just, Mr. Powell, does that make your lie okay? Can we just get him to say? Can we just get him to lie? He can't know what I'm thinking, can he? No one speaks for what I understood or didn't understand but me, sir. So you can get somebody to say, just say whatever. But if it's speaking to what I thought at the time or think at the time, I will kick your ass to China with it. I will kick your ass in a courtroom all the way to China with that. And you know that. That's why y'all won't let me in court. So do it again, Charles. Say one more time say it to my face. Prove it. Do it again. I dare you. I had 3 lawsuits against you. The first hearing, the judge denied your motion to dismiss. And you haven't let me in a courtroom since. You're a corrupt piece of shit. You guys have ex parte hearings. I'm not there. The burden of proof is on me. I'm not there to show my evidence. You go in a back with Judge Cummings. You guys went duck hunting. We found out. You took Judge Cummings duck hunting. And out there is where he denied everything I was doing. People hated you for that. That's why we can get information and you can't. You do me dirty, you are pissing off some people with a lot of power. So we found out you went hunting with Judge Cummings. Any other victims have that kind of information? You have no idea what I'm saying, do you? So, can we just get Frank to say she misunderstood him? And the guy goes, you can, but she will kick your ass with it. Because here's the thing. Mr. Perry never asked her why she's pissed off, so he already knew. He didn't deny having employees. Spreading rumors of an affair. He denied having employees, and everyone knew he had employees. She names them. Are all Robert Tepper. So, Mr. Powell, I would advise against that lie. You're just as dirty as everybody else. You're just as dirty as everybody else. Don't get on your high horse, sir, and walk around all arrogant like you're not the crappy one. You are as crappy as the rest of them. You just do it in different ways. You may not be involved in the car vandalism. You may not have been involved in the planning of the murder of a cop that was trying to help me. But you were involved, and still are, in the accessory after the fact in the cover-up of it. Suborning perjury in Officer Neely's trial, because you cannot beat someone to death while you're drugged, unconscious, in respiratory distress, and have not a mark on you. You can't do it. It's not possible. And had I been in that courtroom to say that, again, I'm kept out of a court. Mr. Neely would be home with his family right now. Mr. Perry and Mr. Robertson know that. They suborned perjury. When you conceal a material fact from the deciding body, you have a duty to disclose it. You conceal it. You know it could change the outcome. That's why you concealed it. You don't want the deciding body to know about it. It's called perjury. And when you ask someone else to do it, it's called suborning perjury. And Jean Mitchell wanted to know, how did she know my legal argument before I made it? Because that girl texted me and told me it's not plausible. He changed what he said. From what he told media initially to what he said in the courtroom, it was completely different. How did she know my client was drugged before we had even taken depositions, and it was confirmed in those depositions? And he had a chance to ask me in the deposition, and he never did. Why? Why did he not ask me then? He wants to know now. And no one will talk to him about it now. But I would say that if Mr. Perry is being investigated for human rights violations, deprivation of food and shelter to women and kids, human trafficking, sex exploitation, that might have a little something to do with it. Lucky and Mike were talking about the Epstein case right before the murder. It's a similar thing. Similar case, similar type crime. Yeah, people are disgusted with you, Perry. Sick and disgusted with you. See, I helped him get elected. You're the bright spot in my campaign. Oh, well, I'm glad you thought so. Then I did my job, and I did it well, didn't I? So delusional Charles thinks that when you watch a woman in the privacy of her home on TV all day, that means you're romantically involved. Wow. So did John Hinckley. He ended up in the nut house. Did the same thing. You're just a pervert, is all you are. This is what I sent on January 4th that I was talking about. A false arrest or my murder is not going to vindicate Mr. Perry of stalking. It's going to prove he is. What, Yeah. I mean, you guys it's so easy, it's not fair. Mr. Perry, I would really like for you to shut up. You don't even make sense. Why is it you think I care what you think? Why do you think? Nobody understands why the fuck you think that. You don't even make sense. I'm the one catching the crime, like never before in your life. You forget who it is you're talking to. I mean, I have done what no one else does. No other victim has this kind of crap, do they? That's before the false arrest. Well, does any of your other victims have something like that? That's Fabian's name on that. I texted Fabian the night David Robertson came in and first started threatening me with death and false arrest on your behalf. That's dated October 12th, 2015. Told him everything you guys said. You tried to be his spokesperson. I'm sure he loved that. This is dated about 2 weeks later, the 29th. He's going to arrange a false arrest. Wants to be arrested and kidnapped back to Lubbock. So when I was in jail, my guys got that to me. Fabian's name intersecting with the word hope. It's not just any name, it's his name. It's not just any word, it's that word. It's not just in the same book or on the same page, it's right there intersecting. And you're the selfish little buddy and wannabe. Always a wannabe, never the wanted one. I just wish I mattered. Please just let me matter. Whiny. You and Connie Curry go have a whiny party. If only I mattered. And you don't. I matter. That's how I got that. I matter to somebody with a lot of power. Boo is a private joke between me and one of the officers helping. It also indicates the fear and sadness Mr. Perry causes. This is very, very specific to me. And I ordered it in jail when you had me illegally arrested for doing something legally required of me in Oklahoma. And you knew it was... Powell knew by law I had to file a police report. I'm following the law in the state where I live. They have me charged in a week before any collected evidence had been collected in Texas. I don't live in Texas. Perry doesn't legislate in Oklahoma. Nor does he matter. I've been in politics all my life. He's the new guy. He didn't know anybody yet. I didn't do state legislation. I don't like state legislative bullshit. I don't like it. I've always done federal. It's a whole different ballgame. You're dealing with people with a whole lot more power. A whole lot of power. I just came out of the office of Harry Reid. Why would you matter? You wouldn't matter. You're some little podunk, nobody, new guy. The cops wanted you elected because you're an arrogant piece of trash who likes to run his mouth. What better way to get him to say things that will help our case than get him elected? He's out shaking hands and kissing babies and interacting with a bunch of people. You can walk right up to that bitch, pretend to be a voter, interested voter, or an interested campaign donor, and get him to say God only knows what. He loves to brag. He loves to brag. Right? Mickey James, if you read Mickey James' text, what is that? He's bragging. He's bragging. So is David. Get these bitches bragging. It's funny as hell. Yep, here's what you can do and get away with. And all that stuff you just said is illegal as fuck. So, run that mouth. I'll pretend I like you. And, so that's what we did. And, you don't matter. You fucking, state guys are just enough power to get on your nerves, especially after you've been dealing with feds. It's a whole different ball game. It's hardball. It's hard. You got a lot of powerful lobbyists involved. I got called by lobbyists who told me you are not going to get anywhere with the bill that you want to pass. I'll make sure of it. I'm gonna smush you like a bug. Said it very straightforward, just exactly like that. I heard you're trying to do this bill for lymphedema patients. I'm gonna crush you like a bug. I've got a lot of money behind me. You don't have any. I got a lot of power behind me. You don't have any. And this isn't gonna happen. And I was like, wow. Wow, okay. So why didn't you go tell this person, and this person that? Because they all have lymphedema and they're all famous. And they all have a pulpit. Oh gosh. Yeah. Say it to them. How about you do the bullshit you just told me? Why don't you say it to them? 2 of them are fixing to do a fundraiser for us. Yep. Oh my God. Okay. Well, then it changed to, we'll help you get it passed, but you're going to have to change the language here and here, which the requests were actually not unreasonable. Where we had a hitch is that there was some new items that we wanted covered, new technologies that were by far way less expensive than some of the older technologies, but no clinical studies done yet, and you have to have them. You absolutely have to have clinical studies done. That is out of my realm of control. I can go in and tell a congressman, here's what we need, and I can tell a lobbyist, go fuck yourself. You're gonna help me. Watch me. You're gonna fucking help me watch this. And I did that. But when it comes to the responsibility of a manufacturer to take care of their end of things, I can't help you. I can't do a damn thing. I explained it to them. The CMS panel explained it to them, and they didn't want to do it, and so they didn't get coverage. That period. They didn't get what they wanted. They spent money. They spent time trying to get coverage on their products, and then didn't do what you got to do to get it, and that involves a clinical study. You have to have it. It's medicine. Medicine always requires a clinical study for treatment, and they should. I don't. To this day, I don't sympathize for people who want something but don't want to do what you got to do to get it. Spend all the money you want to spend on trying to get covered. Spend it, and you might as well go throw it down the toilet. You have to have a clinical study. You have to have it, and if you don't want to spend it on that, then you're wasting time and money. Everybody's, and I'm done. We're done with you. So at that point, there was nothing more I could do. Absolutely nothing. Until they do their thing and get their clinical studies, it's medicine. It's fucking medicine. You have to have a doctor's order to do it. You can't just go slap a pump on somebody, or a reed sleeve, or a ferro wrap, or whatever. You can't do it. You must have a doctor's order. And when you're dealing with medicine that requires a doctor's order, you fucking need to have a damn clinical study to show that it works. You might have done it, use this product on every patient in your sphere of contacts and influence in your own clinic, and it worked fine, great. It has to be done double-blinded, in a clinical setting and sanctioned, blah, blah, blah. You have to have a more official deal. Or when they tell you we're not going to cover you until you get that, then go get it. I mean, that's where I can't help you here if you're not going to do your part. So that's where I got off that train. But I'm dealing with people like that, and if I said who told me that, and it would be like, oh my God. I mean, they got some power in DC. So when they call me and they tell me, I heard you got a bill. Okay, good. That's a good sign right there. My name's on the map now. Great. And now what? We're going to crush you. Oh my gosh. Okay, wow. So that's not going to happen. And I'm going to explain to you why that's not going to happen. It's funny that you think that would happen. Here's why it's not going to happen. We got movie stars about to have the disease. And they'll kick your ass. You ready for that? They got a pulpit. They'll kick your fucking ass. Say that again. Oh my gosh, they backed up. Okay, wait a minute. Yeah, let's try this. How about we reintroduce ourselves? And so we had to... Anyways, they're dealing with that kind of crap all the time. And I don't like dealing with so I didn't do any legislative initiatives or government reform efforts in state. For sure not Texas. After Mr. Perry's bizarre texts, and after he's already stalking me and stuff, he's already started interfering with my family and butting into shit that wasn't his business after that. And I have the court thing with my kid in New Mexico. Then my parents ran a drug treatment program for kids, Teen Challenge of New Mexico. I start getting calls from them, sympathizing with me and telling me what happened to them. It ends up on the news. They had boys taking in a shower of ankle-deep shit because they didn't want to pay $500-$600 to drain the septic tank. My dad had a TV in his living room that cost at least that. They traveled, they did all this stuff that cost at least that. And they won't pay $600 to have the septic tank drained. It ends up on the fucking news. I'm getting kids calling me crying. They did this to me, they did that to me, they did. So I call the governor's office, I call the lieutenant governor's office, I call senators, I call Congress, Assemblymen in New Mexico, and I'm like, where's the oversight? I call CYFD, I'm talking to administration at CYFD. There's no laws that will allow a private entity, they're going to call it a church, to have oversight in these situations. None. That did come out later also on the Tierra Blanca Ranch deal, where there was actually a kid killed. They're not taking state or federal funds, they're taking private money. The parents are paying, or they're going to churches and getting donations from private individuals. So there's no government oversight if their census is below a certain thing. The guy in the lieutenant governor's office told me, your dad knows exactly where to fly right under the radar, so there's no fucking oversight, and it's pissing us off. And we can't get Governor Martinez to cooperate. We're not on the same page with her on this issue. So, it's very frustrating because we agree there should not be child abuse in these places that are supposed to represent God and Christ and help children to get their life whole again after battling some sort of addiction. And so we agree there needs to be a law passed that would allow that. So we had, there was criticism on Tierra Blanca Ranch. She did shut it down. State police did shut that down. They had a fatality. But the thing is, they didn't shut down the girls' center, so we threw a big fit. Why are you talking out of both sides of your mouth, Governor? You have said that it was illegal for you to go in and shut down the girls' center. The boys' center was shut down for the shit shower those kids had to take. They're doing the same kind of crap at the girls' center. So why is that one still open? I'm getting calls from girls, too. The girls are calling the state police. They're reporting what's happened. So why can't state police do shit? And then you go down and you close Tierra Blanca Ranch a few months later. Tierra Blanca Ranch is questioning you. Why did you do that? You didn't have the authority to do that. You can't do it as a private agency, private entity. And so it's not okay for Teen Challenge. It is okay for Tierra Blanca Ranch. Figure it out. Oh my gosh, they had the state police come see me in Texas fast. Boom, just like that. Here they come. Well, thank God. I'm not the injured party here. I'm not. I'm fucking not injured. I'm not a kid at that place. So it's not about me. It's about the kids that are getting hurt. I'm just getting pissed because you're not helping them, and I'm just going to get loud for them. That's it. So that's what I tell the guy. Here's the thing. Here's these emails that these kids sent me. I'm not injured. I'm not a student there. I live in a different state. I don't give a fuck. Here, this is what they said. That I care about. I'm having to apologize on behalf of my family for this crap they did. Here's their emails telling me what happened. So he did a good job in trying to make some changes. We know they did make some changes. They didn't shut it down. She said if it were up to me, I'd shut it down. But what did happen that was good is they had to change some things and not do this crap anymore. I said, good, that's good. That's what we need. And he said some of it I had to shift over to the Department of Education, and I feel like they dropped the ball. Again, I have no authority over that. It's Department of Education. I'm looking at crime. I'm a state policeman. I'm looking at crime. So it's an education neglect thing, but it falls under the purview of the Department of Education. This other stuff I can do something about, and I did, and we got them to change it. So hopefully it's going to be better. So after that, I don't know, but that's the only thing and the only way I did anything statewide. They did make a law. They did write up a law that would allow oversight. The law did not make it out of committee. It had a lot of loopholes. The committee said, I think you need to tighten up the loopholes and come back. Well, I agreed with them. I agreed completely with them. And then Mr. Perry had me arrested, so now my reputation is fucked. I can't do anything. I can't do anything with my reputation. So he didn't just hurt me and my family and my kids. He hurt all those kids I was trying to help. Ripples. Your life affects other people. Good or bad, you choose. But when you start affecting someone very badly, they're going to start hating your guts. And that's what the kid said. He badmouths her everywhere. He smears her everywhere. He took everything she loves, everything she worked hard for, ruined it. I have a girlfriend, an actual girl that likes me. That's not what I did to get her to like me. So he's full of crap. It isn't what he says. That's a con. It's what she says. Okay, so I just didn't do state legislation. Stalking is a part of Mr. Perry's legislative duties. He knew the law. He obstructed justice. I did not get a blood test. There was an admission to giving me arsenic. I was getting sick. I did buy charcoal to try to absorb the poison so that I could just go to work and make money. I already had to quit another job. Already had to. He's already fucking with it. So that's another charge, Mr. Perry, you can look forward to. Interference with contracts and commerce. Commerce. The buying and selling of anything. A job. You want me trafficked this weekend? We've said it over and over and over and over. You want to take my car and get me destitute? And we've said it over and over and over and over. That is what you do to all victims. But all victims don't have the evidence against you that I do. They don't have it. I have a lot of power behind me, sir. If they can get me, it should have been a clue. When I had that right there, there's a lot of power here behind her to get her that information months before we did it. Every time we quote you in one of your meetings, one of your phone calls, y'all stay off the horn. She heard, now she knows he's trying to take her car again today. Want to know where the title is, if she has it. How can we get it from her? How can we get her driver's license from her? And take the car away so she has to be trafficked. She will think she has no choice but to be trafficked and go along with this criminal activity. Deeply deranged, demented criminal activity. And the more you do this stuff to me, the more caught you get. And you act like you have no fucking idea what that means. Your responses are always way far off of that of an individual that understood what you just said. They're indicative of a delusional whack job who needs to be in a damn nut house, butterfly net, straitjacket, John Hinckley Jr., a danger to society, a threat to everybody. And my reputation here, just so you know, Charles and Dave, is such that the second I started talking about looking into Michael's case and reading the documents on his docket, the comment immediately was, watch, she'll find every mistake they made. Watch this. Watch this girl work. So that's my reputation in the state where I live, in Oklahoma, and have lived for 9 years now. Almost a decade. Mr. Perry, you are a piece of trash reject. You're just a failed reject. You're stupid. You're irritating. You're pissing off people with the power to get me that in that puzzle. And the second I came out with this in the puzzle, you should have known at that point she's got some huge power behind her to get that many details, very specific, very detailed information as to what crime we're trying to do next. And it's happening every day. And you can't recognize it. You don't recognize what it means. We got Calvin's name, we got Lucius's name, we got Geppetto's name, we got Sanjay's name, we got Blankenship's name, we got Desiree's name, we got Monique's name. How many recordings of the people involved in your thing have already been played in court to use as probable cause to get another investigatory order? And that would include Matt Powell. That would include Mr. Powell. Because I just quoted him twice. She torpedoed my case. Can we not get her whereabouts constantly? No, I use a protected address. You broke the law. You caused me an injury. You went into court and lied. Bold-faced lied. You didn't know I had this? Did you not know? You didn't know the law? You didn't know that this was denied because I forgot my police report as reason number 2 is denied? You know, they didn't call me until I'm already in jail. We need to collect your evidence. Mr. Powell, you're a prosecutor. You have a legal obligation to protect and preserve all the evidence. I've read the ABA rules, sir. You got a crackerjack law degree, and you need to get out of law and law enforcement if you are going to fuck it up and put the wrong people in jail and let the right people, you know, the real offenders go around causing more injury and waking more victims. Get out of it. You don't belong in it. I don't know who the DA in Lubbock is now. I don't pay any attention to Lubbock. I don't give a fuck about Lubbock. All I care about is the crimes occurring around me and where I live that will be used in the bigger case. That's it. I don't care about anything in Lubbock. But I'm watching the thing with Kyle Carruth, and there was somebody else named as the DA. Sunshine, some bullshit name like that. What the hell? So, and she declined prosecution, and I would have had him arrested immediately for interfering with the custody of a child and a child custody agreement and failure to render aid. I'd have put him in jail right that minute. So Lubbock police is a fail too. I wouldn't live there if you had a gun to my head. I hate that place. I'll tell you this though. If Judy Parker is involved in this, Judy Parker and I were very good friends, and I do have some respect for her. She did family court. How many of your victims appeared in her court when you were having the ex take the kids away? She needs to think about that. She might need to look back on her cases that she had when she's in family court. How many times did she help you and not realize she was helping you? Or did she know? What does she know? What does she know? Because this is what you do, our witness says. Our witness says, as long as I've known Charles Perry, he's a sex sadist. He's a weirdo. He'll troll women. He tells his wife he's out of town on business. He tells everybody that, and they believe him. He's not. He won't take her with him. He's trolling women. Trolling. He's looking for women who are divorced with children. When they're not home, he'll sit there and stalk them so he knows their schedule. When they're not home, he has hidden cameras installed in their home. They don't know. They don't consent. He's raking it in, selling the watch time on the dark web. And he's a sadist, so he likes making problems and getting them all hysterical. So he can go, and I'm quoting the witness, rub one out. We hear you go to maternity wards and watch women in pain and then go in the bathroom and rub one out. That's pretty sick. That is a fucked up thing to do, but you're a sadist and you get off on women in pain. So that's all out now. All that shit you hid all your life, that's out. Because you did it to me. You did it to me. I'm Chief Hall's granddaughter, by the way. Police Chief Hall's granddaughter. Relieve suffering caused by crime is the job. Tell victims they're safe now. And no one has as much evidence against you than me. I have help with huge amounts of power. And you piss them off every time you cause me the loss of 1 minute of my time, 1 penny of my money, 1 minute of my privacy, every time I'd have to struggle and struggle and struggle. I'm sleeping in my car, you're taking my money. That's not a trophy. It gets us more because of you. Everybody hates you for doing that. Everybody's sick of you. You act like you don't understand what that means. We get information because everybody hates you. Everybody's sick of this and they're sick of you. So that's how we always find out beforehand, not after. You dumb fuck. You're just not all there, are you? Your elevator doesn't go to the top. Most people don't have to be told. People don't like crime. They don't like yours either. And you've been told and told and told and told and told, and you go right back to your vomit and eat it. Every day. It is so easy, it's not even fair. The more we get, because you piss my guys off, and they have a lot of power, the more you have to pay your attorney to look it all over. Every time you cause me the loss of 1 minute, 1 penny, 1 minute of my privacy, 1 minute of my time. Every day you make me struggle. Every day you make me be broke. And the longer Mike's in jail. Do you understand? Get a special ed teacher. I don't have finger paints for you. But your stupidity is what do you call it? It is it is loved and hated at the same time. It's hated because you won't fuck off and leave me alone. It should be a crime deterrent when you're caught. Most intelligent people would stop when they get caught this much, and you're just go right back at your vomit and eat it and gross everybody out. And the stupidity is also good because we can get more than anybody else ever has. We got names. You don't have one name of anybody in our need to know. Not even one. You're putting me on the map though with all the phone calls. Our guys are like, he's got you on the map. He's fucking got you on the map. And people, they're calling everywhere trying to find out who's helping you. How are they getting this information? And you are like fucking legend right now in a whole lot of places. So I'm like, okay, all right. So, Matt, my police report was filed here on the 21st. You have me by physical force prevented and delayed from reporting the crime and giving evidence to the police in Tulsa. That's called obstruction of justice where I come from. It's called a violation of Title 18 of the United States Code 1512 and 1513. First of all, he's retaliating because I reported the crime. Second of all, he's delaying and preventing the reporting of it. And so third of all, he's destroyed my evidence because now I'm sitting in illegally detained in Lubbock where I don't live for doing something required of me by law in the state where I do live. It's like I work at Walmart, and Walmart says or Target, and Target says you got to take 3 15-minute breaks a day. And Walmart says you're only allowed 2 10-minute breaks a day. And the manager from Walmart comes over at Target and sees me on my third break and fires me. And I'm like, but I don't work, you don't work here. I don't work for you. So you can't fire me. Well, I am. You're taking 1 too many breaks. Yeah, but I'm in compliance with the policies of the place where I do work. And you're not that. That's not you. It was that bizarre. That's stupid. But it cost me my home and my reputation and my ability to help those kids in New Mexico, Mr. Powell. You don't know the atrocities that were happening to them. You don't know. And I'm not going to tell you because it's not your business. It's just not. So, you're aiding and abetting, and there's stuff called after the fact, accessory after the fact. That's you. You're not innocent in all this by far. So this is the charges. 29th. I don't get the call asking for the evidence till the 15th. I'm already sitting in jail. The arsenic is working its way out of my body. Mr. Perry's such a drama queen. If they didn't poison me, he would have made sure I was tested. So he could do a drama queen press conference and say, we tested her and there's no poison in her blood. See, she lied. But the thing is he knew he was poisoning me and he didn't want me tested. Because it would show that. He made sure I had no test. Destroyed my evidence. And then charges were dismissed. So, there's my Whole Foods. So this is kind of what you do. You destroy women to make them easier to traffic. You go at their heads. You play a head trip with them. You fuck with their minds. You get their family to help. You get their coworkers to help. You get their friends to help. Except when you do it to me, you get caught. What day will you be arrested? Will it be today? Will it be tomorrow? Will it be next week? Is that the desperation to take my car now? You got to do it this week, he said. We can't wait. We're going to traffic her. It's illegal to traffic, you're caught. Let me repeat myself, dumbass. It's illegal to traffic humans. It's a very serious crime, and you're caught. You act like you have no idea what that means. Who gave me those names? Who gave me this? Who gave me the McNamara email? Who's catching your crime? Who's giving me names? You have not even one name of our guys. You're trying to traffic me. That's a very serious crime, and you're caught. You're caught, and you act like you have no fucking idea. You're that mentally retarded. It's very embarrassing. It's very embarrassing. And for us, it's so easy, it's not fair. I don't even have words. We don't even know what to say. You got caught. So, this is the kind of deranged, demented, depraved mind that I've had imposing on me for years. The good news is, his crime has been caught more than ever before in his life. And the bitch is stupid and doesn't know what that means. He's stupid. So, there you go. We caught you again. We caught you again. How many people heard those recordings? What countries are they all in? Are they all in the U.S.? Are they all in some other country? Is there another country or two involved too? What I'm telling you is, I don't want your freaky Jason house, Perry, where I'm going to go get tormented and tortured worse than I am now, because it's bad now. What I'd like you to do is give back what you took and get the fuck out, and I'll ask for some mercy. But if you don't, I'll ask him to throw the book at you, and you're fucked. Because nobody has as much evidence as we do. You kept me out of 3 court proceeding 4. Because you know that. What's the harm in letting her in court to show evidence she doesn't have? He keeps saying she can't prove it, but he won't let her in court. I think she can. I think he's afraid of her. What if I put you on the stand, cuckoo bird? You gonna even make sense? Yeah, I probably not. I think not. I don't know that any of you would. So, when you do it to me, you get caught. It's different, sir. We got all this documented here because that's what we do. We document it. When we get it in, goes out. We get it in, goes out. We're not going to wait until after you do it to say something. That doesn't prove malicious aforethought. If we put it out after, we do it now. This one, I'm going to have her car towed and sold before she figures out it's not legal. Waiting to see if I have my title. Waiting to see, there's a lien on it now. Can we get her driver's license from her? Strip her of nothing so she's easier to traffic with kidnap. That's 2 charges, kidnapping and trafficking. And now, because of a job loss, again, interference with contracts and commerce with intent to coerce. So you're fucked. But that's you. You choose the same thing every day. You choose to get the same results. And what should be a crime deterrent, you go right back to your vomit like a fucking... And it's just gross to watch. We're just like, oh my God, wow. So we know you wanted to try to do this week. And that you guys said, oh, we can't wait a week. We'll try it next week. So we're always on guard now because you said that. And what all of that is going to be used to get, as probable cause, to get additional investigatory orders signed off on. Or an arrest warrant. I don't know. I don't know what day he said we're about ready to do this. It could be as early as tomorrow. I'm not sure. Charles, I'm not going with you. You're not going to traffic me. I said no. When you contact me, we catch your crime. When you take my money, we catch your crime. We start quoting you, planning it. We get great detail, very specific. Because I got a lot of power behind me and you're pissing them off. You caused me to struggle. The longer I'm broke, longer Mike's in jail, the more we get, the easier it will be to get a conviction, and the more it's going to cost you in attorney fees to read it all now and to get in your criminal trial when they have to try to suppress it. You do what you do, princess.